Out here riding with my buddy. Good buddy Lance. This bike just eats stuff up. I really like the stabilizer on this. Keeps my steering from getting chopped out from under me. I was just thinking of some topics I've spoke on a while ago. The prison system. I know that's not something that's really fun for you guys. It's not really fun for me either, but I know I said that it was broken, but honestly there's a lot of people in there that are not people you want out in society. Most people in there, they're in there for a reason. They're loud in a way that's disrespectful to other people. You just don't want them around other people. Like they're very manipulative and scary to be around. They don't do the right thing. And that's a lot of people in prison. I mean, people say there needs to be reform, and I'm one of those. I agree. There needs to be a reform of the criminal justice system. And one of the biggest things that I think we need to look at is the self-righteousness. That's, I think, the correct word, because really what it takes to fall into tyranny is self-righteousness. You hire people who are do-gooders, and you have a self-righteous attitude of you can do no wrong, and suddenly everybody's a criminal except for you. And instead of using common sense, you know, we have so many laws in this country that are not around in other countries. Why are you suddenly a criminal if you're in this country but not in others? That doesn't make sense. How about we change that to where you have to commit a violent crime against somebody pretty much in order to go to prison? That sounds good to me. What I'm talking about when it comes to the self-righteousness is that Hitler came to power because of it. He was saying that some people had all the money, which was the Jews, and he came at it sometimes from a religious perspective, and it was just they're wrong, we're right, and we're going to enforce this and that against them. And it ended up being a slaughter of people who shouldn't have been. And granted, guess what? Today there are a lot of bad people in power that are Jewish, and I don't know why that is, but I see it as them just being people who happen to be Jewish. I mean, if you look at the world overlords, essentially most of them are Jewish. Like George Soros, Jewish. I'm pretty sure Klaus Schwab as well. That just happens to be. It's not that they are Jewish, it just happens to be. You know, I went through a class one time in college, and it was a report writing class for criminal justice. And my instructor was a lieutenant. I won't name the department, but he was saying that you want to write the report as if they are the bad guy. You want to say things like perpetrator, assailant, suspect. Suspect being the main word you want to use. The reason he said that is because you want to differentiate. You want to say bad guy right off the bat. When somebody reads that, you want them to read bad guy. The way you do that is use suspect. You don't want to use their name. You don't want to use anything but suspect. And that kind of turned me off. I was like, wait a minute, what if I don't necessarily want them to be the bad guy? What if I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and keep them out of trouble unless they really deserve it? Well, that's not how the system is. And a lot of these guys think that way. I mean, almost all of them think that way. And the worst of them, unfortunately, are the yes-sayers, the guys who are agreeable, especially with management. They go to work and they go home. They're great members of their community, and they probably go to church on Sunday, and then they go to work and they're like self-righteously destroying people. And that's why self-righteousness can be one of the most dangerous aspects of criminal justice or society in general. If you have a sense of superiority over others or self-righteousness, you know, I'm leery of people who even use the word righteous. I am the righteous. We are the righteous. Okay, are you? If you said that, are you really? I used to know a guy in the military who said, and he was the nicest guy. He would say, he always looked around for the weakest link wherever he was, and he would try to exploit them, make them look worse, so that there was no attention put on himself. I was like, shouldn't we be building each other up, especially when we're deployed? I mean, there was one guy in particular who was falling into alcoholism and really falling apart mentally in my unit, and I had to take care of him a lot. But to build him up made more sense than to tear him down, for sure. And I felt bad for him. But this other guy, who, by the way, went to church every Sunday, put his suit on, he was going to exploit this other guy because he wanted all the negative attention off of himself. I was like, what the crap? I don't understand it. That's not good at all. So, yeah, Hitler utilized this aspect of people, and there is this self-righteous kind of attitude among a lot of people, and agencies will use that to their advantage. The good agencies, the ones that really succeed in doing this, will actually give you status above your peers if you do these types of things. And the military is a very good example of this, where they give you these status structures. And so if you're a general, you're not going to listen to an E3 or an E4. You're going to be like, it's a separate, people are nervous when they talk to you, even unless they're similarly ranked, which is bizarre. You're just a person. Anyways, what I was talking about with self-righteousness can be applied to a lot of things, and people who have this way of thinking will justify all kinds of evil actions towards other people in the name of self-righteousness. And that's, like I said, that's what Hitler did. That's what people in local law enforcement agencies will do. And they're just little things, like they'll justify spying on you. They'll justify, like, when you leave, they'll go through your things. Like, they'll invade your privacy in the worst way. They'll, like, there's just a lot of things that they will do because they feel entitled to do it. They feel a sense of self-righteousness, that they can't make mistakes, that you aren't allowed to make mistakes or do anything abnormal out in their mind, but they are allowed to do whatever they want. And that's essentially what I'm talking about. I hope it recorded that bit where I was talking about my personal experiences with it, because it really made it makes a lot more sense. Anyways, guys, this was my little talk on societies and self-righteousness and superiority complex that comes with it. Anyways, there are examples of how this is getting out of hand with our current society, and I think things like the Patriot Act. Anyway, like, by the way, you can pretty much make it say the opposite of what they are saying, and that will be the truth. So the Patriot Act is the Anti-Patriot Act, which essentially messes up privacy for all Americans. And there's a self-righteous dude behind a screen somewhere tapping your phone. Or, you know, every single one of them, a self-righteous dude who is just like, oh, he has this sense of goodness behind him. Like, he's like, I have the authority to do this. I am preventing evil. When in fact, he's not. He's just being evil to free Americans. And Americans should always be the most free people on the planet. Period. And so things like the Patriot Act are not allowed in our country. Go somewhere else with that crap. Maybe the kings and queens will allow it. We the people certainly didn't have any say in that crap. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Catch you on the next one. Peace.
Alright guys, I just wanted to thank my Patreon supporters. That would be Lance Darnell, Jim Jolson Jr., Kurt Kinghorn, Daniel Roush, Brian Thomason, Wade James, Moto Creek, Nathan Young, Jason Froling. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.